Namaste, Vanakkam, Swagatam, Bonjour, Buongiorno, Buonasera, Buonanotte, Huya Mure, Mureda, Noram,
Namaste.
Salamat Pagi, Ayu Bovan, Ayushman Baba, Shubdinam Suprabhat. Very, very pleased to be with all of you today. And thank you for joining us for this event. We are commemorating the Global Yoga Therapy Day today, August 14th. And let us begin by invoking the great masters who have given us this living tradition of yoga and invoke their blessings to take it forward. Om Yogena Chittasya Padena Vacha Malam Sharirasya Cha Vaidyakena Yopakarotam Sabaram Munina Padanjalim Pranjaliranatosmi Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Today, the 14th of August, we are commemorating the Global Yoga Therapy Day that has been organized by the International Association of Yoga Therapists. This is supported by our Indian Yoga Association. And on behalf of the Institute of Salutogenesis and Complementary Medicine and its School of Yoga Therapy, we felt it would be a great occasion to bring together many of the experts in Yoga Chikitsa, many of the therapists, many of the students, and even those who are benefiting from yoga therapy. The Global Yoga Therapy Day was started many years ago, and Anne Mary of the Yoga Meet and Yoga for Better Health in Australia was the founder. And then post-COVID, it sort of went into hibernation. And this year, the IIYT has taken it forward and has its own wonderful online sessions scheduled for later today, including sessions where I'll be participating. I would like to take this opportunity to invite the Vice Principal and our leader of the School of Yoga Therapy at ISCM, Dr. Meena Ramanathan, to share a few thoughts on Yoga Chikitsa. She has been a pioneer in this field and recently awarded with a Yoga Chikitsa Acharya by the Indian Yoga Association as a CIYT certified therapist of the IIYT also, and has many decades of work in this field, especially with the marginalized aspects of our population and society, including children with special needs and the elderly. So over to you, Dr. Meena, for a few inaugural comments on this occasion.
Namaste and Vanakkam, all of you. Hope all of you are doing well, whichever part of the globe you have joined in from. It's such a pleasure, such a privilege to be, part of this wonderful gathering. And, we from the School of Yoga Therapy of ISCM are indeed fortunate that we have this school which had been set up right way back in 2010, like the integrating the modern medicine with our traditional complementary therapies, which is coming up, fast picking up now. But way back in 2010, it was a dream. And for all of us here at ISCM, this is a dream come true. where, we could try to combine all these factors using yoga therapy. And how do we connect the fragmented parts, the missing links, as we would call it, like there is something missing, some aspect of where the link is weak. So can we strengthen it using yoga therapy? And does the miracle happen from outside? No. It is all within us. It is all, it's simple breathing, the prana, combine your body, mind, integrate. So everything is within us and within our own breath that can cause the healing. And we, from this center, from this school, we are very, very privileged that we have the access to get into any ward or pre-op, the post-op, where the healing is required. Any aspect of healing that can be promoted using the breath is where we start with, and combining the body breath movements, bringing in the mind. This is part of what we are doing here, the psychosomatic combination, mindfulness. All these are part of what we do here. And I have especially worked a lot with the children with special needs. And as we all know, yoga therapy has plenty of options there to heal them, to, to completely change the outlook. One is of themselves and the way they interact in the society. They get so confident. They are so reliant, that with all these techniques, that it becomes so beautiful, becomes so magical, the changes that it can bring about in them, and the same in the senior citizen also. The way it enhances their outlook is so beautiful. They are able to face the society, look at people eye to eye, because otherwise they would be cringing back. They wouldn't want to interact with people. They wouldn't want to come out into the society. They would just want to be on their own, depressed and all that. But this has truly given them the opportunity. And we from ISCM have this opportunity to reach out to the community, the underserved populations of the community especially, and through which we hope. And we also, it's again a fortune that Sri Balaji Vidyapeeth has given us this wonderful opportunity to be able to reaching out, to be able to, set a mark and reach out to many people. And at least an aspect of small change that we can bring into them is an optimism, that, a ray of hope, a ray of sunlight, whatever it is, which could be brought into their lives, which matters a lot for them in the long run. So thank you so much. Wishing you all a happy International Day of Yoga again. So again, we'll interact more in.
Thank you, Dr. Meena. I would like to invite Megan McCulver from the USA. She is a very well-known pioneering yoga therapist and a CIYER herself. And we are so happy you are with us, Megan. So wishing that you can share some of your thoughts on yoga as a therapy with all of us.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It is really a complete pleasure. I feel as though yoga keeps evolving for me as a practitioner myself. So, but right now, all I can speak of is just the energy and the positive attitude. And it just manifests in the body and shows itself the way, whatever the person's constitution is. And it's very moving. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Megan. And I think this is so important that we remember that we are not just physical beings, but that we are energy beings. And when we realize we are energy beings, Yoga Chikitsa becomes energy medicine also. So thank you for that highlight, Megan. Going all across the planet up to Norway, requesting our Professor Ingen Hagen, who has a lot of experience of working with yoga, especially in psychology and with adolescents, and part of our ISCM team as an advisor, welcoming Professor Ingen to share some thoughts on yoga as a therapy.
Thank you. I'm very honored and pleased to be invited to this forum and allowed to speak. I think I'm working in the field of psychology as a professor, and I have been for many, many years yoga practitioners, but it was only in recent years that I became more involved with yoga, and especially with this Ananda tradition in Pondicherry, where I feel that they are such a light, such a pioneer in yoga therapy. So I feel I learn a lot. And the reason why I find yoga therapy so interesting is that I see a lot of my colleagues and students that they work with people with more traditional psychological therapy, especially cognitive therapy. And I see that they have a lot of techniques and a lot of wisdom to offer people and help people, but I see that they miss a lot, and that is knowledge about energy and about the body, integrating the body and the mind. And I feel that there is a lot to empower people with in this tradition. And I'm going to offer a course myself in about a month about self-reflection, self-development, and stress mastery, because I feel for people who have challenges, yoga therapy needs to be included as an integrated part of psychological treatment, but also for so-called normal population, where there is a lot of challenges and everyday stress. And for them too, I feel that yoga therapy has a lot to offer. But I think, as you know, yoga is becoming so popular in the West and all over the world. But I feel it's very important also if we start to develop yoga therapy together with other healing practices here, that we learn from the source, that we learn from classical yogic practices and more holistic yoga, where I think we have a lot to learn from you in India. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Ingen, for that very excellent perspective, and wishing that a lot of students benefit from your upcoming course on self-mastery to get over the pain of stress that we find a pandemic across the planet. And I especially have highlighted your statement, a statement where we need to realize that if you really want yoga in its holistic, wholesome manner, we have to drink from the source. And the pristine, pure waters in the high Himalayas is what you want, not the end, just as it's ending into the ocean, mixed up with all the human pollution. As Sridevi said recently, it's not nature that pollutes, it's us humans who pollute. And I think this is why the connection to the source is so important. And we are privileged in India that we have living traditions. And I think this is a great role the Indian Yoga Association is playing in bringing these traditions together. So thank you so much, Ingen, for that beautiful perspective. I'm going to go across to Calcutta and request our dear Mary Cecil, who is there, to pipe in with some of her thoughts. She is doing some amazing work and had a privilege of having her in our ashram recently. So over to you, Mary.
Namaste. Thank you so much. Honestly, I thought I'm supposed to be a participant and listen to, the discussions. I'm not prepared with a speech, but being a yoga practitioner of over 30 years, almost 30 years, and having traveled to most of the, famous yoga schools, right from the Himalayas to the south, and then finding my guru, because in 30 years I never called anybody a guru. They were all teachers to me. I learned from everyone, and every school had something to offer to me. But as you say, Ingan had said, going to the source, I found that guru tattva, that guruism, when I went to Pondicherry, meeting Ammaji. Ammaji, as all of us know, is not in the best of her health. But the energy, the radiance that she had, and just sitting with her, being able to spend some time in the bhajans, I don't know how much she benefited, but me as a participant, I definitely benefited a lot. And of course, Dr. Ananda, as everyone knows, I call him my Guruji. And I think that is what yoga therapy is. It is not about, all the writings that we do. It is not about all the talks we give. Of course, those are important. But that essence that you carry back inside you, that which transforms you, that which, gives you that impetus that, no, I want to be a better person, not only for myself, but for the, society at large. That is, according to me, the very essence of yoga therapy. And I feel very blessed to be here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mary, for that beautiful sharing. And, the most important aspect of Yoga Chikitsa is transformation. And if you want to help the individual transform, we definitely need this heart-to-heart connection, human-to-human connection, and Atma to Atma connection. Because it is not about the techniques, but it's about the experience. And so beautifully put by you. Thank you so much, Mary, for that sharing. And going over to Pune, where we have Dr. Pallavi, and we recently had the privilege to have our Dr. Pallavi Kahane with us for the Yoga Day. And again, someone who is serving so many people in her region and around the world, and has been a world champion in Yogasana. And so happy to have you with us, Pallavi. And over to you now.
Oh, thank you very much. Actually, I'm really blessed to be here. And recently, I visited the Pondicherry Ananda Ashram. So I really feel it's a very great, unique parampara, yogic parampara. And they are living yogis, Nowadays, we cannot see this type of deeper understanding, deeper philosophy, but how to live the life in yogic way. So this is the very important thing nowadays, because yoga is a 24-hour process. It is not only 1 or 2 hour practice. So how to balance our physical, mental, emotional, intellectual, social, and spiritual. So all this aspect, when you see in such type of yogi, you really love yoga, and we really want to live this life in this generation, modern generation. So I really thankful, Dr. Anandji, that you gave me this chance to see, to, feel that vibration, that aura. It's very close to me. So thank you very much. And I'll try my best to live yogic life. And you always guide me. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks
you
a
so
lot.
much, Pallavi, for that kind sharing. We are going to go across the world, crisscrossing all the way to Canada, where we have our dear Neeru Parashar, who's with us and staying up little later tonight to be with us. And again, Neeru has been part of our yoga family for many years and doing amazing work there in Canada. Over to you, Neeru. No, you need to unmute.
Yes, can you hear me now? Namaskaram, everyone. This is a surprise because I was not prepared to talk, but I'm very happy to celebrate yoga therapy with all of you here. And everyone knows your institute is doing a great work in that field. I have taken a lot of techniques, and teachings from Gita Nanda tradition, and I try to apply that in my day-to-day life myself and when it comes to my classes, and a lot of people have benefited. And I was just sharing today with Dr. Sir how I was helping one of the seniors with one of the techniques given in Gita Nanda tradition about sectional breathing. And, it's about empowering people. And Dr. Sir always says that yoga therapy means you have to empower people. It should be from within you. Nobody else can empower you. You have to empower yourself. And for that, it's very important that we give them tools and techniques for them to practice, so that they are independent even without us. So it's about sharing with love and care and teaching others whatever you know. That's how knowledge can spread, and you also grow as a human being. So I'm very thankful to the teachings of this tradition, and we have so many different practices here which help people of any age, young and old. Thank you so much.
Neeru, would you like to share with them how this technique was used? Because I know it was the Shunya Mudra and all, but I think for people who are new to these techniques, it may be something very nice.
So this lady told me that her diaphragm is not working properly. I haven't seen her reports yet, but she told me that her left lung, especially the lower section of the left lung, is not working properly. So, and she's compensating, right? Breathing more on the right side. So I just told her to do some cleansing practices like Mukha Bhastrika or Kapal Bhati, so that she has enough room in her lungs to breathe in. And then I gave her a chin mudra, which is one of the mudras used to activate the lower lobes of the lungs. First, to balance, bring air into those sections. And then I told her to focus completely on the left side. So I gave her Shunya Mudra, where you turn your palm up and you actually deactivate, you move the focus entirely to the other side. So I told her to turn the right palm up and keep the left hand in chin mudra on the other side and focus on her left breathing, left lung breathing. And she could feel that after some time. She said, I can feel it here on the side. So I said, here you go. You just try to breathe. And I also told her to lie down on the back and breathe into those areas, because I could see when she was sitting, she could breathe only for 4 counts. When she was lying down, her breathing was going up to 6 counts. So, people use their lungs differently in different body position. So that's how I helped her.
That's amazing. And thank you so much for sharing, because, often in yoga, Chikitsa, the application of yoga as a therapy, we tend to think we have to do very difficult postures and we have to, challenge the person, and we need all sort of props to do something. And as you have rightly demonstrated, a very simple practice where you use the Hasta Mudra of Chin Mudra for the lower lung and the Shunya Mudra to shut down the other side. It's like you have closed the other side and made sure that this side has to start working again. And what a beautiful methodology can be brought in without having to pull and push the person, put them upside down. I think this is where in modern yoga therapy, we need to be careful. We don't try to do too much. And I think this is our experience at the School of Yoga Therapy over the last 15 years here, is that you don't have to do too much. Often you have to do much less, but whatever you do, you have to do it regularly and you have to do it in a focused manner. So I think your example is really well taken, Neeru. So this was a perfect time to share that. And I'm now going to go across to Dr. Rama Reddy sir, who is one of India's most senior and top psychiatrists, and came into our life a few years ago, and the Gitananda tradition, and he also came in to our ISCM family because he decided that he wanted to do a PhD in yoga therapy. So Rama Reddy sir has a record for most diverse educational qualifications. And just today sent me a message that because he feels bored and he is a perennial learner, has taken up 12 online NEPTEL courses at the same time. Now we struggle to do one at a time and he has taken up 12. That is his desire to learn. And his recent PhD work was on schizophrenia and yoga therapy. So over to you, sir, to share your wisdom with us. Namaste.
Namaste, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, Ji.
Namaste, sir. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I am feeling so happy being associated with you all after a long time. Very fortunate to be a disciple of yours. Really, I mean, before entering into this yoga therapy course, I was a bit skeptical about the process itself, but it was an eye-opener. Really, I mean, you proved to be my, not just a teacher, but my guru. And I always consider, I am always thankful to you for everything. And the honor you have given me by being the first yoga therapy PhD candidate from ISCM also, I am so fortunate. And as you said, really it worked wonders for chronic schizophrenia people. Chronic schizophrenia people, drugs work to some extent only as far as the positive symptoms are concerned, like hallucinations or delusions. But lack of drive and that apathy, so those things are not met by with the help of drugs. So for them, we have given 717 patients were selected, and for them we taught it, and 667 we followed up, and ultimately we found that everything worked. Surya Namaskaras worked, yoga therapy, different types, relaxation types, everything worked. And better than placebo, we could find out. And my future plans are, see, something like what usually said, eligibility yoga, that is Yama and Nima. So those things somehow, I mean, I feel that those are very, very important things, not just asanas and gymnastics like championships and all. These things have to be taught for the people, especially the children during their nascent age, so that their personalities will be molded to the best extent possible. We have got so many hostels here, social welfare hostels, BC welfare hostels and all. And I have got grip over them. And I mean, I can have the children there. I think selecting 2 or 3 or 4 hostels, and for one hostel children, we will be teaching traditional yogasanas or pranayamas. But for one hostel, only Yama and Nima, every day we will be teaching about one aspect of it, and we will be noticing how they are progressing, about the Satya, how they are progressing, about Ahimsa, how they are progressing and all. And the results will be monitored by those teachers who are blind about everything what's going on here, their behavioral components and also the academic components. So this is my plan. I mean, anything, when it is formalized only, the things will move. So I'm waiting for the formality of getting a small entry into ISCM in one pretext or other. So that's what I mean, I expressed to Bhavanani sir. And as I said, I cannot remain idle. So I'm doing a feat. You know, NPTEL courses conducted by IITs of conservatorium, and at least 2 NPTEL courses is a must for every PhD. And I have registered for 12 NPTEL courses for this semester. So I have planned meticulously so that there will not be any overlap at all. In September 4 courses, October 4 courses, and November 3rd will be the last examination day. Thinking that this semester, anyhow, I am not going to get any PhD seat in music therapy or DSc seat in this one. So I think next year, maybe for the first semester, I'll be in ISCM regularly. Once again, thank you very much, sir. And thank you very much, Meena madam, for everything.
Thank you so much, sir. Ramareddy sir is such an inspiration because, you know, over the last 4 or 5 years that he has been involved with us, he has been the best possible PhD candidate, fulfilling all the requirements and more than the requirements. And we are so happy that on the 22nd, you will be receiving your PhD officially in the convocation. And looking forward to having you here on that day because it is ISCM's 2nd birthday. So Ramareddy sir will be our chief guest for the ISCM birthday party also. We will have a nice ISCM lunch that day, sir. So we have had a discussion with the team today. Going across the hall, I'm going to ask Dr. Balaji, who is our assistant professor here in the School of Yoga Therapy. But more than that is someone who embodies integrative medicine. Dr. Balaji is trained in modern medicine, trained in yoga therapy, and currently practicing both. And in addition to that, is doing great work in a de-addiction center here locally. And even yesterday, we got feedback from a recent participant on how much it is life transforming to have that experience. So over to you, Bala.
Namaste, sir. Thank you, sir. Namaste to all. Thank you, sir, for inviting me in the global arena. I just want to keep it very short. Being a student of yoga from the young age and integrating with the modern medicine, the role of yoga therapy as in the adjuvant form is more than effective, and there is always a positive side effect. There is no negative side effects. The most important thing is recently I got a feedback from the patients who enrolled in the research work. They told that after yoga practices, they can able to feel well. The quality of sleep is improved very much. The reflex causes because of the digestive issues, it is reduced. And one interesting finding is an overweight individual, he always has a habit of the sound which is coming out of his mouth unconsciously. And his partner noted it, and after yoga therapy practice, that sound was reduced. And these are the findings which yoga makes. These are very simple findings, but it is a very effective findings. These are the ways how acts in a patient or in a client in a holistic form, and it treats not with a system base. It treats as an individual in a wholesome manner. And we have done a research in the de-addiction also with Ananda sir and Meena ma'am, and we found out that yoga makes the individual that conscious awareness that happens, and that helps to prevent the relapses also. And in that research, we found that the craving for addiction to alcohol is reduced and the perceived stress is reduced. The patient who are having a yoga therapy as an adjuvant form along with the standard medical management. So thanks to Ramareddy sir for that publication of the de-addiction paper, because he made a lot of effort, and sir is being a psychiatrist. And this yoga therapy, the main aim of School of Yoga Therapy, ISCM Ananda Yoga Association is, we are not a symptom-based people. We are not a prescriptionized yoga therapy. That is not our aim. We are seeing the individual as a whole, identify the issue, and treat the root cause. And we want not only the symptom improvement, we want the improvement in the patient in the physical level, spiritual level, emotional level, psychological level, and improve the patient as a wholesome person. And if he is feeling well, the family will feel well, and the whole society will turn positively in that manner. So that is the beauty of yoga therapy, and it's happening a lot with us, and we are giving a scientific evidence also. And we want you all to also enjoy this and continue this and support in our work. Thank you, sir, for inviting me, and thank you, Ananda. Happy Yoga Therapy Global. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bala, for that beautiful sharing. And as you said, when the individual feels better, feels healthier, the whole family feels happy, healthier. And if the family is happy and healthier, the society is happy and healthier. So this wholesome perspective is so vital. And again, it is important that the benefits of yoga therapy are also documented scientifically. And this is one of the works we have taken up right from 2010, when the CYER, the Center for Yoga Therapy Education and Research, was started with Dr. Meena, who has been the energy behind all the yoga therapy activities of CYER and ISCM, the School of Yoga Therapy at SBB, and truly has to be recognized and applauded as the mother of yoga therapy when it comes to SBB, because her phenomenal work against all odds, because Dr. Meena has a PhD in yoga but is a non-medical person, and hence a non-medical person in a medical institution, well, it is always, the task is uphill, because there is always going to be prejudice, there's always going to be blocks, there are going to be invisible and visible walls. But she has shattered all those walls, and recently the School of Yoga Therapy was honored by SBB as one of its best constituent units, and all credit goes to Dr. Meena for her pioneering work. Though she was not here physically to receive it, we dedicate that award to her for her invaluable contribution. And also ISCM School of Yoga Therapy got the best yoga therapy institute in South India. That also, the contribution of Dr. Meena is way beyond anything. I'm again going to go across the floor here to our Dayanidhi. And Dayanidhi is also an assistant professor here in our ISCM for the School of Yoga Therapy. And his PhD work, which is now culminating on psoriasis, I think it is something very special. So over to you, Daya.
Namaste, sir. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity, sir, for be here and to talk about the study and also in this wonderful Global Yoga Therapy Day. So the process that we have done in that period. So first of all, thanks to SPV and having a yoga unit, yoga therapy unit. So these yoga therapy units, while joining in yoga instructor, yoga lecturer in this center. So starting seeing the patients. So what I feel that is, even we are practicing different practices, different asanas, different techniques, but the individual self healing is happened once they are coming into the practice of yoga, even though they are doing different medical management. Once they start doing yoga practices, immediately they can feel the relaxation, their quality of life is enhancing. So whatever in my PhD study, whatever I have done in psoriasis patients, they feel, even though how they have different problems, they feel happiness within them while performing yoga, and they can understand it and they can move forward. So these are the few things that yoga gives, that means self acceptance and moving towards life. So these are the things in the study we have seen, and we have done, as you said, sir, that retrospective study. So from 2012 onwards, we have done the prospective study also and retrospective study also. So these things actually gives that yoga we base a strong evidence in our locality. So there are so many evidence are there. So in our locality, we have framed the strong evidence that yoga keeps on helping people in different dimensions. So thank you, sir. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you so much, Daya, for sharing. And again, in each community, we need to find which aspects of yoga as a therapy are beneficial, because the same thing may not work in different communities, in different cultures, in different climatic variations. And that is why it is so important that not just somebody does the work and somebody uses it, but we all do the work wherever we are. I would like to go over to Nilachal. At this time, Nilachal's been traveling, and so we saw a bit of him travel. And as you know, Nilachal has been doing his PhD here with us, but also has founded a very unique organization called Live Holistic and doing amazing work. So over to you, Nilachal. You need to unmute. You need to unmute. Try to unmute.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. It's a wonderful experience being working in the ISCM. Like Balaji sir, Daya sir mentioned, like we already we learned a lot of like therapeutical aspects of yoga therapy there. I just would like to share one of the experience that I had at the Rural Health Training Center of the ISCM, or Sri Balaji Vidyapeeth University. So there, like it is, there was one experience where I am basically working on the non-specific chronic low back pain, and there one patient I met, the patient was around 48 years old, and she was basically came for the low back pain. But when we had a conversation with her, and when I came to know a little bit more about her, there was a lot of situations that was going with her in her surroundings. So the lady was there, and she was having back pain, but in her family, she was the only one who is earning for the family. She had a mother, and she has a daughter, and she had two daughters, and there was no male members in the family. So we came to know that the situation that she had, although we can give her the treatments like the asanas and the protocol that we have developed, but apart from that, there was a need of yogi counseling also, and also there is a need for how the dietary and other aspects can also work on that. So there I came to know how the other aspects are also needed to deal with. So we also suggested her some other ways where she can give time to herself, because she was more onto working for her mother, her daughters, how to teach them, how they will get more good education, and she had to go for learning also. So in that hectic schedule, she can't get time for herself. So the protocol was there that we developed. But apart from that, how she can manage the relationships that she had with her mother, the children, and the society there, but also suggested. So there, it is very much important there to deal with other aspects also. So yogi counseling was very important. And since they are from the rural background, they needed in a very different way. We can't, how in the urban area we deal with the care seekers or the patients differently. There they need to be treated in a different manner. So that was a good experience to know. But at the same time, we need to develop our own approach to deal with them. So although we have protocols, but we did it differently. So that was one good experience that I learned. There are many experiences, and one more is there, like the prakriti. I'm working on the prakriti analysis and the back pain, how and which prakriti, which patients are getting like which kind of getting intensity of the pain in that. So these are also helping me to know how the prakriti and the disease, how they are related. And it's still the investigation is going on, the analysis are there. And so this is also like the concepts of Ayurveda. In Ayurvedic concepts, we have the concept of Vedana, pain. So there are a lot of variations in the pain. So this is like how the Prakriti can impact in that. So although we have the modern allopathic medicines, they are needed in many aspects, but at the same time, the other therapy, like the integrative therapy, like yoga therapy, can help a lot. So integrative approach is also needed to deal with the patients or the people or the care seekers, because ultimate goal is to heal them, or healing happens from inside. And that thing we learned, that we are the facilitators. We can help them. We can't cure them. So that was a good experience that I would like to say. Thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity. Namaste.
I was really enjoying what Nilachal was saying, because I think he hit the core spiritual aspect of yoga therapy, that we are here to help them heal from within, not cure them from outside. Because the modern medical approach is to cure somebody from outside, whereas yoga is not trying to cure from outside, but heal from within. And I think this only happens when you work in the field. And I have seen Nilachal's work. He goes to the rural health center here in the village and works with the people who are farmers and, women who are carrying, the vegetables around to the market, and they have the back pain. And so you see it at the grassroots level, and you see that, it's not just about giving them one asana. And again, the importance of Prakriti. This is where, for a yoga therapist, I believe that some basic knowledge of Ayurveda is a must. Because otherwise, it is going to be very difficult to understand the framework of yoga therapy. If you don't know Prakriti, if you don't know the gunas, if you don't know the doshas, if you don't know the, different aspects of one's, life, and diurnal cycle, daily cycle, weekly cycle, monthly cycle, it becomes very difficult, because it's not just giving one asana for hypertension and 2 asanas for diabetes. As you already know, I have coined a term many years ago called yogopathy for that. And yogopathy is useful, but it is not to be confused with yoga chikitsa. I would like to ask Dr. Meena to say a few words on that, because she is right here in the field and knows what goes on.
So when somebody comes, with a few symptoms, are we just taking the symptoms just like that, or do we also go behind it to think like, is there a cause for these symptoms? Because most often the medicines, without demeaning any modality, the medicines given just, treat the symptom. Say, for example, somebody comes with a fever or a headache, a tablet given, like the headache is gone. But what is the cause of the headache, right? Isn't that the difference between yogopathy and yoga chikitsa? Because we need to understand what is underlying and not just read the tip of the iceberg. We need to go underneath so that, we uproot it from behind, from the bottom part. Completely uprooted means it gives them relief. It is enabling them to heal. Otherwise, the healing cannot happen with all this which is disturbing them again and again. It is like going to get grow, with more force if it is not uprooted completely. You remember, sir, there was one professor who came in. She's no more, unfortunately. But when she came in with plenty of doubts about herself. And the moment she came in, she said, I cannot breathe. I have been to many classes and they have kind of driven me away, saying that you can't breathe. Without breathing, you cannot learn yoga. So, and it was actually very pathetic that she said that.
So
And you
I,
know,
I remember that, Dr. Meena, where she had been told, because you cannot breathe, you cannot do yoga, so go and do something else. Imagine, that is actually, and she was a professor of English, a very educated person. And, when she is told you cannot do yoga, and she came here, I remember that. It's beautiful, very beautiful. Please share. Please.
Despite, whatever she was discouraged with, she brought her husband actually, for some therapy here, for his breathing asthma or something like that. And she wanted him to breathe better with more, the yoga therapy that we could give him. And she said, like, she would just watch there, waiting, like for him to take him. And then, like, when I was talking to her, suddenly she said that I cannot do yoga. I said, like, why are you just watching? Why don't you come and join him so that, you can also do the practices, and at home, you can do it together. And then she said, no, I have been, classified as I cannot do yoga because I can't breathe. That is what everybody's opinion. And then I said, I'll challenge you. Just give me 2 minutes to disprove that. And then, just made her sit, take a deep breath in, and then open your mouth and come out with a sound, whatever sound you want to give. Say, for example, and breathe out. That's it. And, like, she did it. And I said, what were you doing when you were making that sound? She said, yeah, I think I was breathing out. I was not breathing in, obviously. So it should be breathing out. Oh, so I can breathe. The happiness and whatever it was, there was some component in her that re-clicked, redefined herself. And, it was so beautiful that both of them came and they were so happy. But I always remember her, Rama ma'am. And unfortunate, we cannot help a few things, but she did, she got convinced that yes, I can breathe. And there was so much of change from within her that happened, that she was propagating for yoga with so many people. And that was just one incident that just came up to me now. There's so many anecdotes that I can just keep going on, but I don't want to take all that time. So just one technique will do, one simple thing will do, one word will do to bring that change, the transformation that is required. And like everybody, all of you were beautifully speaking up, how we can empower, how we can give the therapy. But like Ananda sir always says, like, it is not like we are not giving the therapy. We need to be the therapy ourselves. So that is very important. And it's really fortunate for all of us that we have sir there guiding us. And sir so magnanimously told that, the award that was given to ISCM has to be credited to me. No, it's not like we owe it to him, because the wonderful grand tradition that we have been backed up with, Ammaji, Swamiji, all that they have given us. And we are fortunate that we have this living entity here, Dr. Ananda sir, who's there to, who's there to see that it is all taken forward through all of us. And of course, he is there observing, supervising, and without his support, this cannot have happened. And thank you, sir, for that magnanimity. And it's truly, truly wonderful. Thank you so much.
I believe in giving credit where it's due. So what I said is not just magnanimity, but it's the truth. Because, today, what you see at ISCM School of Yoga Therapy is the result of 15 years of very hard work. And I still remember when it first began, Dr. Balaji was doing his medical internship. He had completed his medical training here. And when we were looking for a yoga teacher, we said, because Balaji is doing his internship, he can also be the yoga instructor. So I don't know, maybe you want to share a few thoughts on that, Bala.
Yes, sir. Suddenly, before joining internship, before going into the final exams, one day Dean called. at that time Dean was Professor Gunashekaran sir. So he's a very hard man. So someone calls him means then definitely everyone will afraid that what happened and what is the problem. Did I made any mistakes? So a lot of things was happening in my head, and my friends told, what did you do? What did you do? So why he called you? So I don't know what I did do unconsciously. So I just went into the room, and he said, surprisingly, he said, we are going to start a yoga department. And you are going to be assisted with Professor A.R. Srinivasan sir and Dr. Sahu, Professor of Biochemistry at the time. And they had a meeting with Ananda sir, and they took me to a deluxe ward there, and they asked me to just tell what is yoga, what you learned from there, and how can we set up in the yoga therapy in hospital, like those questions they asked. I was totally blank. I don't know anything. I told, for me, the one person who can answer everything, because I am following his footsteps. And so you can ask all these questions to my guru, Dr. Anand Bali Yogi sir. And so whatever there, as a student and of both yoga and medicine, I always ready to do whatever I can do this. At the time, it was Mahatma Gandhi Medical College under Pondicherry University. So I can do my best, I told it. And during the, then the institute got set up, they went and met Sir and Chipmer and Meena ma'am came in. I was very happy because one thing I was very happy was no interns got a stipend, but I got 5,000 stipend every month because I'm a yoga instructor at Mahatma Gandhi Medical College. So that was a very, very happy thing. And yeah, the best thing is more than a medical doctor, we got a special room for my night duties and for special. It was a wonderful memory during the internship, actually. And that has happened because of yoga. And Sarah, there are a lot of good moments, but I'll stop with this, actually. I can't tell more truths. And thanks to ma'am, because she's truly a yoga Shakti, because how I adjusted my internship and being there in yoga therapy is a very, very difficult time, because being an internship, having a lot of things, I have to report morning in the duty, and 10 o'clock I have to report to ma'am also. Because of the magnanimous heart, madam, she adjusted me with lot and helped me to do my internship works also properly. And as an instructor, what I have to do, I have managed those things properly. That is because of the help of Meena ma'am and the guidance to Dr. Ananda sir. It was a very beautiful memory, and that I will cherish forever my life. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Bala, for sharing. You know, the very fact that a modern medical institution would be open to having a yoga therapy unit, and today, you know, a whole school of yoga therapy, I think is why we are truly blessed by the divine. I would like to now go over to one of the pioneers of yoga and yoga Chikitsa in India, and that is my dear Acharya Birju Maharaj Ji. He is a source of great wisdom, and in fact, we have had a lot of interactions over the years, and I would like to request Acharya Birju Maharaj Ji to say a few words. I hope he can have his video on. Okay, we'll come back once we have his video on. I'm just trying to find the video. Okay, we'll come back to him in a few moments. Before that, we go all the way over to Berlin, where we have Gitan, who's actually from Sri Lanka. So Sri Lanka to Berlin to India today, and requesting Gitan to share a few of his experiences of especially using yoga with the Sri Lankan cricket team. And I think your yoga worked because they beat India recently quite badly.
Okay, sir. A little bit of a surprise. I just put it on. I did. Actually, yeah, sir. Thank you very much for all your support and guidance. Yeah. For my personal feelings, sir, I think this whole world needs this specific yoga teachings. I have given Sri Lanka cricket A side as I started many years ago, about 10 years ago. I gave them yoga in the morning at about 6:30 to 7:30. End of the day, after the session, they were half of the guys were asleep. So once or twice I asked some fast bowlers, because I've been a fast bowler. I asked, why are you guys so tired sleeping? No, sir, we have had very lot of training and this. We have so tired every day. I said, really? How can you perform? You'll have injuries. When you're tired, you have injuries, Actually, sir, at that time, there was no major injuries in any side. Sri Lanka A side, I did women's side also. Sri Lanka main side, I did some fast bowling units. And actually, sir, for my feeling, even here in Germany, people are overstressed. When their stress level is so high, I think the toxins also works. Actually, I'm not a medical person, so I feel that they have a lot of background issues with cramps, muscle pulls, muscle tears. When you're not relaxed, they are not relaxed, So, of course, my teachings to this boy who was at that time at club level, the Sri Lankan cricket captain now, he was not performing properly after being under 19 cricket captain, So one of the fast opening batsmen told me, Gitan, try link you up. So he got me across to this guy, and he was from the village, southern part of Sri Lanka. He said, Gitanaya, when I'm batting, I am thinking a lot of stuff and I can't concentrate. 20 runs I hit and I can't continue, So I said, don't worry, slowly we'll work. Within 3 months online, at that time, COVID, I was following your scintillating Saturdays and stuff like that. And I just did 3 months continuously, 1 hour each, some days half an hour. And then he got hundreds. He said, Gitanaya, I have got 300s season. We won the club. And slowly he came to the Sri Lanka national squad. Now he's the captain of one day and T20, So I feel the breathing, actually, that the central part, the 3-part breathings, everybody should understand that, That is amazing skill if you can personalize yourself to do the 3-part breathing. And now with the Shunya Mudra, where Nehru was talking about, actually those things help a lot, Basic, very simple, as you said just now also. Simple things to do. Things fall in place, balance, total balance, I don't know, I don't want to take too much of time. So many stories to tell.
Thank you so much, Gitan, for that sharing. And I thought, our audience would enjoy it, because one of the major applications of yoga as a therapy can be in the sports.
Yes, 100%.
Rehabilitation, it is a very important place.
Yeah.
The Yogasana Bharat is currently partnering with National Institute of Sports, Patiala, to create a yoga rehabilitation program. And currently, as chairperson of that committee, we are looking into a syllabus. And I think I should bring you into that soon, because yourself, and again,
I'll be very happy to help.
Thank you.
Yeah, actually, sir, that 3-part breathing, because I'm doing Vipassana meditation, actually the awareness is brought in, no? If you are not aware, you can't breathe to the lower lobe, you can't breathe to the middle lobe, you can't breathe to the upper lobe, So that understanding of the body expanding, falling, expanding, falling, makes you concentrated,
So true.
Every point, every minute of the breath is concentrated awareness, so actually that please come to a point of kind of meditative stillness, and then you're calm, you're relaxed, you know. It's very interesting, sir. Actually, this, I think Swamiji, if he was alive, he would be very happy to help all these things step by step, going into sports and so many fields as we see. And I think, yeah, this institute, 2 years, I think it'll be about 200 years in the future.
Thank you, Gita. Thank you so much. I'm going to go across to
Thank you.
Haridwar, from where we have Dr. Nidesh Yadav. And Dr. Nidesh Yadav is he is part of the Patanjali University, and he was earlier working with Kaivalya Dhamma and instrumental in the MOU between Kaivalya Dhamma and at that time ICYER. So requesting Dr. Nidesh Yadav ji to share a few thoughts.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I've just seen the message today and just linked immediately without getting much information about that. Just I want to see you people once again. I'm sorry, I was quite busy from last 10-15 days, so I could not able to attend all these messages and all. But just to say that today I'm here just to see you all once again. And I'm seeing so many new people here in the group, and they're joining. So this our community of yoga therapy people are getting increasing. It's nice, and this is all because of the effort of our senior people like Dr. Ananda, and I can see Reddy sir is there. So, thanks to all. And as today the global yoga therapy day is there. So just I want to say one thing to each and everyone who are associated with us, that the true perspective of yoga and yoga therapy has to be, promoted within our youngsters, because what I'm seeing that the youth is getting yoga or adapting yoga, but with some different perspective and goals and objectives. So this is the biggest challenge what we see as the academicians and researchers or so-called yoga therapists, so that the student, when he is at the age of 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, the real perspective of yoga has to be informed to them. Once they get some other, propagated perspective of yoga, they cannot able to understand the real nature of that, and they will be misguided forever. So this is my request them to, teach them or to inform them, because I only give one example. I can give one example that we are having a lot of misconceptions. The common people are having so many misconceptions. We are ignoring them. We are saying that yoga is promoted and people are getting informations about yoga. It's okay, it's good. At the same time, with the speed of the increase of the popularity of yoga, the misconceptions are also, increasing a lot. And till now, I think the amount of misconception is gross much enough. And this is our responsibility to rectify them, to curtail down. अभी छोटा सा गुब्बारा होता है, तो हम गुब्बारा को ब्लो करते हैं, तो उसमें छोटा स्पॉट होता है, वो रिमार्केबल नहीं होता है. As the balloon expands, that the point, the darker perspective also expands a lot, and after a moment, it is quite obvious to see that. So I think now it's a high time to check this very black mark on the balloon. This is my humble request to each and everyone. That's all. Thank you, sir. Not much.
Such a pleasure, Nidesh ji.
Sir, I will call you after this meeting. I'll take 1 or 2 minutes of yours.
Yeah, definitely. You're most welcome. And such a pleasure to have you share your thoughts. And it is so true that we have to be very careful as yoga becomes more and more popular, that those discrepancies, those defects that need to be eradicated when it is small, we need to be very vigilant. And I think this is a very important aspect, especially when yoga becomes therapy, because then everybody is a therapist and everybody is doing therapy. And then it creates a lot of confusion and it can actually damage a lot of people's health. So very true that we need to be vigilant. We are going to be concluding at this point because I wanted to keep to time more or less, and thanking all of you for being with us. This is a very special day celebrating yoga therapy through the Global Yoga Therapy Day that is organized by the International Association of Yoga Therapists. And we at Indian Yoga Association are supporting it. And through this small event by the ISCM, we thank you all for being with us. We will be sharing this recording on YouTube within a few hours for those who missed the session. And really means a lot to have all of you here with us today. We conclude with a prayer, Prarthana. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Dhanyavad. Thank you everyone and have a wonderful day and see you all soon.